I drive my wife insane, not with impressions, but just things from the show and all that. Just walk. I saw a Saturday Night Live skit it was very funny. It was with the women, the one of them, the one with the freckles that came back. Anyway, they were singing. ABBA sings.
Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph, yeah. ABBA sings Christmas songs, and basically they took Christmas songs, just sung them to ABBA songs.
Right.
But they had Frosty Tita was their Frosty the Snowman, and they were like, Frosty Tita, ta ta tita ta ta, and I for 2 weeks would walk around the house going tita ta ta, and my wife's like, stop. And I get into one of those things. So I'd imagine if I was you, I'd just be walking around going, what's for dinner? It just stuck in your
Somebody
brain.
pass the butter!
Yeah, I was telling them earlier, I go, when we take a 2-week break at Christmas time, after like the 4th day, she's like, please go back to work. Go talk to somebody else. I'm doing the show constantly and walking around my living room. Frank Caliendo is here with us. Frank is going to be at Side Splitters Friday 7:30 and 9:30 and Saturday 7 and 9:30. You want to make reservations because this is shows that sell out. You can go to sidesplitterscomedy.com and pick your seats and do all that, or give them a call 960-1197. If I was not going out of town, I would be coming to those shows. I've seen you several times before. I love
You were the first. You're one of the first radio guys I remember coming out to see me at a club.
Yeah.
And I remember you just sitting down in the front. You came with your brother.
Yeah, dude. There's something about you that is very savant. You remember? I said to you, "Oh, last time you were here, I came to see you," and you go, "Yeah, I think you were with your brother, and you were sitting on the right in the front table. Like you knew exactly."
I remember.
Where it was.
I have it. Like there are little things in my memory that are etched in there, and that's one of them. I remember looking over and seeing you there.
Yeah, I really do make an effort to go out if I really like a comic to see it. Just sometimes when 8 o'clock rolls around, I'm already exhausted. But it's definitely a fun time because at the end of it, you can't even remember how many people were at that show. You're like, John Madden was there and John Gruden was there, and it's hilarious. Will you see the Grudens while you're here? Yeah.
John's doing something today. He's coming to a show.
We love Coach Gruden.
I'll tell you what, man, it's a good time. I love watching Frank, man. He does an impersonation of me, man. It's a pretty good one right there, man. You ever see his daughter do that? It's pretty good, man. I'm gonna go to the office. I'm gonna go the Fired Football Coaches Association office. They'll be in there this weekend in that strip mall. Tell you what, man, what are we doing over here? You ever see John do those cameos? He does cameos.
Oh no, is he doing
he does them for people? Yeah. I mean, it's so I was just watching a little Walter Payton here, and Jimmy gave me a call and said it was your birthday, man. Just like Walter Payton busting through the line, you're busting through the 50-year-old mark, man. It's going to be pretty good here.
Those are hard to do when you have to come up with.
I don't like to do that. He's like, you got to do cameo, man. You should be on there. Yeah. You should be. You can make some money. I'm like, you don't need any money. What? But I don't know. People want me to perform on those.
Yes.
They want him to be him. They would want you to be you. They want me to be somebody else.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's when he realized he was just getting quarters put in the jukebox.
Which, if it was enough money, I think I would probably whore it out. But then I feel
you can
bad.
set your price.
I know you can, but that's the thing is, I did it for a little bit. Ari Spears got me. He's like, Frank, you got to do cameo. I was like, I'll try. And then corporations were trying to get me to do stuff.
Well, and
I was like, well, no. And then that's undercutting me. This is supposed to be for fans, and then the corporations are like, why would you do what? So I was like, I just got to get off of it for now.
It gets a little hectic for you. I keep my prices like $20, and I do it for. Like if a listener is a big fan of the show or something, and it's their birthday, we'd love to do it. We try to all do them together, I
feel like I should. I mean, there's a piece of me that feels like I should, but at the same time, then I feel like I'm not giving them what they want. I record 30 different ones to get the one that's decent.
Right, you care about what
I care. And I've seen people who do, like, they just throw them out there, and I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like ums and ahs and
and you're reading right off. Bobby said to say happy, but you want to give it. You're all.
And I don't feel like I can do that without putting a lot of time into it. And by the time I put a lot of time into it, I feel like it just wasn't worth the energy for me.
You need minions. Like I have minions. I have Spanish. I have Joe, and for Valentine's Day, Spanish will dress up as a Cupid and come in and shoot arrows at you on the cameo. That's where it gets really good.
That's
Yeah.
Wait.
You need to get some.
After he
minions.
calls me Mr. Caliendo awkwardly 6 times.
And hugs
Mr.
you,
Caliendo
tells you he loves you.
No, nothing. None of that.
You'll get
was,
it. You'll
no,
get it
I know.
before you leave.
Well,
Yeah.
on the way out.
It's weird because he used to be cute when he was a little boy, and now he's like 37 years old, and it's just kind of weird. Yeah. Frank walked in, and I looked at Frank, and I said to myself, "Wow, he looks great. He looks really skinny." I look at him, I go, "You look nice." Awkward
Nice.
thing I've ever said to another.
I would not have
Nice.
pointed it out till you said that you meant to say you look skinny, and I would not. I guess I did feel it was a little weird.
You look
I didn't know what
nice.
you meant by it, but I was just going to let it go and move on.
Yeah. No,
I thought maybe the show had changed.
No.
Maybe there was a different show. Maybe the show's going through transition.
Listen, you want to hear something funny? Our old program director, we used to call him. His name is Michael Sharkey. We used to call him Shark. And Galvin used to make up a character called Shark Zen PD because he's real hippie and he's real, hey guys, you know.
Right.
Him and Spanish do a show on the weekends now. What's it really called?
It's called Get Real, I think.
Yeah, let's get real.
Let's get real, and it's about man's feelings and men's feelings, and we call it Sad Weirdos. If I had your talents, I would call Sad Weirdos every weekend as a different dying person or as a different something. Just stir it up with them.
Oh my goodness.
Do you? I'm sure you have over the years. Like one of, I think it was Craig Gass who told me because Craig Gass is Al Pacino is really good
Yeah,
too.
that's great.
And I said, what's like? I would just sit around. I'm 53 years old. I would still sit around and make prank phone calls doing it just because it's so good. I know you are probably way past that, but to me, I'm just a big baby. But what I would also want to see, like how far that I could, like I'd call a movie studio and be like, "It's me out, get me," you know.
I
Whatever.
got scared once because I did one of those as Madden 30 years ago.
Right.
I called a news outlet and was like, "I'm quitting. I'm done." And they're like, "What?" Yeah. They're like, "Is this John Madden?" I'm like, "Yeah, and I've had it. Al Michaels is driving me crazy." And they're like, have you been drinking?" "No, I haven't been drinking." They go, "Can we put you on the air?" I was like, "Yeah, why wouldn't you put me on the air? I'm always on the air." And they went to go and I was
do
like,
it?
"Oh," and then
that'd be great.
I was I told the story. I think I'm trying to think because there were two. I might be mixing up two things. There was another time where I did a Madden calling. That I am mixing up two things. So after I did a Madden calling. What's the word? Bordello? Is that
like a whorehouse?
yeah? I'm Florida. I can say it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You got bus parking?" I mean, I got a pretty big bus, and can we park the bus? Bus might be in there too. But can we park the bus next to? Is it a shack? Is it kind of like a love shack kind of thing? And they recorded the call and played it, and I got calls from PR people like, "Yeah, that's not good." So I was like, I got scared early on. With great power comes great responsibility.
You have you have more to live for, I think. Like, I would just be doing it willy-nilly.
Yeah, I always worry about what's going to, I have kids and put them through college and all that.
Right.
I always worry about all that. I would do a lot. I got a friend, John Holmberg. I don't know if you know him, radio guy.
I know the name, yeah.
He's fantastic. He's like you where you can just sit and talk and hang out and you got a great audience, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But he has no kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, when I watch him and listen to him, I'm like, that's what I would be like if I didn't have to worry about my kids growing up.
Yes. Yeah.
I would totally go off the rails and say things and do different things, but I've got a whole you ever hear Kevin Hart talk about like he's got that I got corporations, it's like I can only with DraftKings, that's all I can do.
Yeah, you don't want to lose.
But you don't want to. You get all that. Well, that's my family for me. And if they go off the like, I see all these people doing these Trump things way over the top.
Yeah.
And talking about things. It's great in newsway, but as soon as you're known a little bit more, they can come after you. So I do very simple things, quiet things. Do the quiet things and say the things simply. But like the other day,
so great.
I mean, all these different things. I'm like, if I do that, that could pull some major. I could lose corporate shows that I'm paying for my family.
Yeah, yeah,
That's I do. People are like, you're a sellout. I'm like, absolutely. I have no problem with that at this point.
Right. Do you the Trump is great. I love when you do that.
I try to do that quiet Trump. The one where I'm very. I thought I watched in the Republican National Convention, which was funny because of a joke that I used to do. Is like someday Donald Trump is president, and I take a middle of the road kind of thing.
Sure,
I'd make fun of everybody. To me, it's like I'm making fun of everybody. If you're voting because of something I said, bad advice.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to me. I probably live a different life than you, anyways.
Right.
But a joke used to be Vice President Hogan. Let me tell you something, brother. Like that, and then he's there, and I like the fantasy reality kind of.
Isn't that so weird?
Worlds colliding, Jerry. Worlds colliding. So it was like that great kind of moment, but. That beginning of that Republican convention, or he's talking about, and I'll never talk about it again. Yeah. I'll never say it again. And then he starts to do, he had me there. I'm like, this is a new Trump. This is a great new Trump.
Yeah.
And then he starts doing he go into old school Trump stuff.
Yep.
And even the further right commentators have said the same kind of thing, so don't get on me about this. Yeah. But he started doing that thing. He said, and Biden. I'm not going to say his name, Biden. I'm only going to say it once, Biden. He said it 3 times in a row. It was like right out of a sitcom.
It was hilarious. There is no political-wise on this show. You cannot, no matter what I say, whoever is listening is hearing what they want to hear.
Right. There's true. Yeah.
I said the other day, I am voting right now, out of the 2 candidates, I am voting for Trump. I'm telling you right now, before I say this. And I said, but I don't believe Trump was hit by a bullet.
Really? You don't?
Well, maybe now I do.
When I had turned my head, I was hit very squarely in the lobe, the upper lobe. It's a difficult place to hit. And I brought the lady up. She put the chart on the screen, and that chart saved me. Usually pies kill you, but this pie chart saved me.
I didn't in the beginning. I watched it when it happened a bunch of times. I watched him take it away. I have guns. I shoot. I just feel like if that bullet would have hit him in the ear, it would have blown some side of his head off at all. I mean, the idea that if it was a bullet, it went through at the exact angle where it didn't clip his head is so hard for me to believe. And I just thought maybe he was hit by getting shot at is still awful.
Sure, still getting shot at.
Still getting shot at.
Yeah.
And getting hit by an explosive shrapnel of something that hit you, whether it be a teleprompter or part of the lectern or something, it was still a big deal. But right away, I say that and put it up on Instagram, and all the comments, well, you libtard, you left. Right. I'm voting for the guy. Right. I'm telling you, I'm just my opinion. You can't have an opinion without the other side of me.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even know if it's real. I mean, the bots, there's so much out there. I saw a thing, I read a thing that was probably written by a bot, but written by AI, that said most of the people you're arguing with in the comment sections are not real people.
Oh, that's insane to think about.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's funny because what I'll do when people just hate me to hate me, I just mute them and then they argue with nobody. So
how hard is that? How much do you have to hate you to hate you? You're like,
I have plenty. I mean, there's always something. There's always
hate. They don't like your actor. They don't like.
They think I'm going one side or the other.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I've had a ton of people like, you never do Biden. I'm like, I do plenty of Biden.
Yeah.
But whole joke with Biden, I wander around in my act off stage 3 or 4 times as Biden. And the whole joke is, the initial joke is, he's the only guy I've ever seen who listens with his eyes. Mm-hmm. And then that eye look is,
folks, when I was a young man, grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. 500 AD was the fall of the Roman Empire. Come on. What are we doing with the guy? Folks, I don't have to tell you.
You do have to tell us. You're the president. Not anymore. No, you're still the president. Well, I should have been. Not your turn. Well, that's up for debate. So it's like going back and forth with those.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested to see this weekend too about how people take the Biden stuff, because now that he's not running, but he's still president. So I'm like, if he's still president, I can pretty much say whatever I want, because he's the number one target. Saying he's fit for that. You can't say he's too old and you're being mean. No, he's the leader of the free world still. Right. So if he'd have stepped down, I would have been more worried about it. But at the same time, it's kind of like, it's all silly anyways. I'm not like trying to teach anybody anything.
So I'm with you. I'm kind of just trying to ingest it all and figure out what's going on. And then I got Spanish over here throwing conspiracy theories at me at every corner. And I'm like,
man, I'm starting to believe almost all of them.
I mean, I'm glad he's not in the room.
Have you
right
seen
now.
Tall Biden? Tall Biden. He's walking through the woods. He was
Tall
walking.
Biden.
Tall Biden.
Tall as
He's
a
6'6" suddenly out of nowhere, and he's walking through the woods like Sasquatch. And there's a Sasquatchian Biden. Joe Biden.
Isn't he the most entertaining guy that we've had in our lifetime?
Trump?
Trump.
Oh, yeah. I can't tell if he's doing it on purpose or not, though. I don't know if he knows. Like, when you walk around your house doing your morning show or doing your show and your wife driving you crazy, because you can't stop doing it.
Right.
He can't stop being Trump.
No, I don't think so.
It's like a car salesman who tries to, can you pass me the butter? Let me talk to my boss. No, you can actually just interact as a regular person. I don't think Trump can stop it.
We have a long relationship with Don Jr. He's been coming on the show since before Trump was president. And I asked him one day, I go, do you ever, like, during his presidency, I said, do you ever want to turn to your father and go, hey, don't send that tweet or don't do that, because it's like 1 ounce away from being really good. It's those stupid little things. And he goes, you have never tried to talk to my father. Right. And I thought, because he's that way 24 hours a day.
You can't stop. I did a sketch with him probably 10, 15 years ago at Fox, NFL sketch. And we're at Trump Tower. I'm dressed as Trump, Mini Trump. I should call him Mini Trump. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what he was going to be like.
He wasn't president.
No. He was. And one of the jokes was, "I've decided to run for president. And I've decided to not run for president. And I've decided to not run for president. And I've decided to not run for president. I don't know how many knots I'm tying right now, but I'm in the middle of these knots." And so we're about to do the sketch. He goes, "I've got a pink tie. Do you want a pink tie? You should have a pink tie. You got a blue tie. The pink tie. Somebody get him a tie." Really? So they went and they got a tie. And then he said, "That's much better." So we're doing the sketch. It stops down. I talk about this in my act sometimes. And it stops down. And he goes, "Was that good? Is that good? Does that seem good?" Everybody's like, "Yes, Mr. Trump. Fantastic, Mr. Trump." I said, "Wait, does anybody ever tell you something isn't good?" He goes, "No, Frank, and that's part of the problem. I can't get real answers." And I was like, "Whoa, then you should run for president." No, so then we're doing the sketch, and Ivana, which one's the daughter?
The daughter's Ivanka.
Ivanka. See. Spanish? See. She walks through. She just gives us. She's me dressed as the Donald. Sees him dressed as Donald, and she just shakes her head. "Oh, not this again. Why is he doing this?" It was, with height of The Apprentice, I think, and stuff like that. So then he goes, "Do you have a minute?" I'm like, "Sure." He goes, "Come with me." And it was like Willy Wonka, "Come with me." So he takes me in the Trump-Evader, and we go down, and he starts giving me stuff from a kiosk. He's like, "Do you like ties? Here's more ties. Here's more ties."
Really?
And he's like,
because he had the line of ties.
Yeah. He's like, "Do you wear cufflinks?" I'm like, "Not yet, but you're giving away free stuff. I'll take whatever." Then he gives me a watch, and I've heard Charlie Sheen say the same kind of story. He gave me a watch, but he pulls the price tag off of the watch as he hands it to me.
Really?
And I'm thinking, it looks like this diamond watch and all, but it's in a kiosk in Trump Tower. I don't know.
Like a cruise ship watch.
But he sent me off into New York, in the streets of New York, with what I think might be this really expensive watch. So I think that was him kind of getting back at me, and just having fun. But he's like, "Keep doing what you're doing. It's very good." Because I don't come at him to be mean. But I remember saying to him that stuff you said when I first met him. Because he catches you off guard, because he's not the same guy you see on TV. At least he wasn't at the time.
A lot taller than you expect.
Taller, more of a pear-shaped guy.
Yeah.
And when you talk to him, he was quieter, and he wasn't the shouting Trump.
Yeah.
So he's like, I said that thing you said about and it was China or something like that. He's like, "Don't listen to that. I'm just talking." I was like, "Really?" Just don't listen to it. When he said that to me, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like that. I go, "That's how the guy negotiates. You see the guy on TV, and then you get in a room with the guy. He's a different guy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're like, oh, this is a bait and switch here. Now you think you're going into a room talking to somebody completely different."
It was opposite for me. I got the same guy.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So my buddy Pete goes, we're at a WWE Hall of Fame, and we're in the super VIP. I'm wearing a suit, and Pete goes to take a leak, and he texts me and he goes, "You got to come back here. Trump's back here." And this is before the presidency. And I was like, I don't know. All right, yeah, I kind of want to meet Trump, So I walk back there, and he's just standing there. Ivanka's there too, and I said, "Mr. Trump," he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Can we take a picture together?" He goes, all right, make it quick. he gave me like a make it quick, let's go. And I was like, all right. He was very much to me the guy that I see on TV, but I get.
But he was quieter, wasn't he?
Very quiet.
But that's what I'm saying is he wasn't that.
He was no over.
He was voice. He's come back down to this quiet. I say the same tough things, but I'm saying them quiet. Saying them different. It's difficult for you to hear.